on top of Thunder Mountain, up on the cliffs, relaxing, getting some sun, charging, even in a place like Sedona, which is amazing, that the energy flows much more freely here. Fantastic. The issue is that the acceleration that the individual being will undergo is a dictation of the frequency in which they're emanating. Your vibration should be seen more as an average instead of extremes. The frequency in which you hold is important, for in holding that vibration you can then access, I'd like to say more professionally, the information in which you are requested or tasked to undertake. The patience for some of us is being tested, and I know that definitely after the implications of December 21st, 2012 have passed, I was on the Giza Plateau in the necropolis on the 21st of December. After, feeling the energy and the acceleration in that standpoint, and then understanding how that has to be maximized and spread out throughout the planet, it's important to know that we're dealing with large spans of time. If you think of yourself as, say, a high power voltage line, let's just say. Imagine these high powered voltage lines across the planet emanate white light. When you turn on a bunch of high powered, to say, power lines or energetic streams, especially of light beams, what happens is, as soon as you turn on, you're kind of on, right? And then you're like kind of looking around, like you're like a light in a park, in a dark park that just turned on as it got dark. And you're this beacon of light, and you're kind of looking around you. You're like, well, now what? Now what do I do? And why can't I see light on the other side of the park? Why can I only see my light, and then how it diffracts back into the density of the environment in which I'm in? The goal in the future will be linking with consciousness and energy of the proper vibration, being the highest intent vibration that you can output. We will begin to link these consciousnesses, link these power cords, I should say, link us light beings together so that we can hold an even higher vibration and maintain a higher vibration. For those who just woke up, it's an awesome experience to wake up, especially out of 3D, especially out of, it took 20 years of programming to make you who you are, with all these schools, or who you think you are, right? 12 years of school, 18 years of school. And the sooner you can forget that, right? It's not so much forget the information, it's forget the intent behind it. I don't feel my friends or my family members on this planet were raised to be sheep. I don't feel that way. That idea, which, engaged many conflicts, especially during World War II, and that ideology does not hold water today. For today, they could never even imagine how talented and gifted the children are. But as time went on, the generations went on, World War II passed, and the Cold War happened, and then as it went on and went on and went on, we're still in conflict, we're still divided on specific things, but the consciousness that was written to keep this population controlled does not hold any water to this generation, does not hold water to my generation. I come from a generation of indigos which thinks that not only is the system ridiculous, but we can do it better. It's not like we're trying to compete with you. It's like arithmetic trying to compete with quantum mechanics. You're going to get smoked every time. It's the controls, what I'm getting to, here's what I'm getting to. The controls of this planet cannot control the conscious beings who are waking up in it. What do I mean by that? I mean that even this concept of financial freedom, right, which, in the American way and all this stuff, what I feel for the future is that you're going to have an entire population of beings holding a higher vibration, inventing and creating their reality around them. And they will basically either share it with you or box you out. Just like in basketball. You will not receive $200. You will not pass go. Why? Because your intent is ill. I feel that way even on the highest levels of dialogue in which I could share that with you. I know those are coming out in English terms. Sounds like a surfer dude talking to you. Now imagine that aspect as far as the intelligence level on the planet and how it manifests and spreads. What I'm truly saying is this population, this generation, the generation who is young or being born right now, the controls will hold no water. They won't look at it. It's like if you have the internet now, okay, for example, would you pick up an Encyclopedia Britannica, so we had back in the 80s and 90s, right? And look something up, or would you just Google it? Instantly. Okay, and that same analogy, the constructs of what we feel we can generate, what we feel, how things are supposed to be done. The more I begin to dive into the consciousness and what I feel is important, the more I realize that the goal of the control is to keep you from this. It's to keep you from this. They don't want you to look up and open your eyes and think on your own. They don't want you to climb your own individual mountain. No. And here's the deal. The guys that even thought of these plans up of control didn't really see how they would play out. They thought, they didn't know. And those guys who created these control programs aren't even with us anymore. That generation is fading away. I want you to feel that because that's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling the change is going to come from within each individual person and an explosion of their own individual creativity. And from that, the networks will grow just like we're doing on Facebook, just like we're doing, on YouTube. Actually showing how small this planet really is. And then thinking together as one on solving the issues at hand. It doesn't have to be this airy-fairy, blah, 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 okay? What I'm trying to say is use that higher intelligence and use your dream time when you wake back up in 3D and solve the problems that are facing this population. That's what I'm saying. I don't care if you're 13 years old, 12 years old, doesn't matter where you come from. I believe the greatest minds are on the planet right now in this generation. That this planet's seen in a cycle. Each of us are an amplification tool of our higher conscious self. And the level of amplification of the energy that you emit or put out is a dictation of how much energy you're not only receiving, but how much energy you're actually giving back as well.
Namaste and La Catch, my family. What's going on out there? I know it's been about a week since I posted that last video. I want to let you know there's a lot of new developments that we've been working on over here on Team Light in Sedona. And I just wanted to share some of the new things that we are working on. As you can see behind me, Jason and I, but Jason, mainly with the new research he's about to share with you, has been creating bed pyramids. So if I rotate this camera back, you can see my capstone and everything that we have. These bed pyramids, right? These are copper, rust-proofed with the Rust-Oleum with the gold, and they are all orgonited. So check this out. Every 4 to 5 inches is a different frequency, right? As you go up, there are different levels of crushed crystals, different combinations, different mixes, I should say. And we're very excited about these, considering that, wow, when you're dreaming, it's insane. It's like you have a launch pad to bounce out and bounce it, get back in. I wanted to also show you some of the things we've been working on. I know I haven't made a product video or shown you guys any of the new images. We've been so busy over here, but I just wanted to show you some of the new wand creations I've been working on, and how they've actually kind of supersized themselves because now I'm using the large gauge for the orgone fuel cells, which is twice the size of the older ones. And with the new mixes that we have created for balancing and harmonizing frequencies, we find that they're very substantial in not only the multiple uses of them. So now this can be, imagine this is your tent post, right? The pillar of your tent. You can make a little pup tent, right? Energetically when you go to bed, if you just have a wand, obviously. As you get a little more advanced, you would shift to something like this. So I just wanted to show Melissa and Danielle your energy tools are on their way. I'll mail these out today. I also want to show you the new combinations of stones I'm using. Okay. For the ladies out there, I'm really focusing on the green heart. Lots of green energy, lots of chirophase, adventurine, green emeralds, right? All of the new ones are all double-sided, which I find is very beneficial. Just because when you're creating a sacred space, remember that your energy tool goes to the left. So wherever you're sitting, your POV, your perspective. When you have an energy tool in your hand, to go, okay, I want to exit my body to the left, your left. I don't care what this camera angle is. My perspective is it goes to the left, to the left, to the left, to the left. To bring something to you, to the right, to the right, to the right, to the right. Again, to go to the left, to the left, to the left, to the left. To bring something or a dimension or a homie to you, to the right, to the right, to the right. Oh, it's kind of funny. Hey now, what's up, guys? So we have these, like I said, and I went ahead and upgraded all the stones for you. I was trying to explain to people when I talk to them on the phone when they order stuff. I'm like, I keep evolving these products because I am getting better at it, at creating them, and I want more specific cool things for my family members. So that's how they continually are evolving. Now, check these out. We've gotten into, this is the Taj Mahal, and this is a step pyramid to proportion. And I just wanted to show you, these are also some of the mixes and things we've been working on for you guys, and they're amazing. Now, I know there's all kinds of orgonite out there on planet Earth, and a lot of awesome creators out there are making different things. I wanted to share maybe some tips with you guys to have a little different understanding, I guess, of how to maximize the effect of the orgonite. Okay. So, how you create a piezoelectric device. All right, let's go. When a crystal is in the ground, right, or when a crystal is being formed, there's usually a lot of pressure around it. Okay, that compression, right, that pressure is actually what makes the crystal itself fire, engage. Okay, but when you take it out of the ground, it loses that compression. But with the different resins and mixes you can purchase now, and if you want to make it yourself or whatnot, when it creates the vacuum, the cool thing is that it's not just about, you compressing a crystal. It's more like compressing an alchemy mix. Alchemy! So what we've been working on is different layers. I want you to imagine this as, here's the visual for you, how it kind of works. Or how it does work, I should say. Imagine this is a spotlight on a movie set. That's all. It's a generator. Okay, that's what orgonite does when it fires around a crystal and it pushes that energy through it. Okay. Now, what I'm trying to get to is the different gels. You know, when you put like say it's a regular big white stage light, but when you put the different colors, they're called gels, over that light. Say you put a blue gel or a filter over that light. Here comes blue light. Say you put a green filter over that light. Here's a green light coming out. Well, in the same way, you can develop and build your frequencies as you raise and rise through your creations. That was a little tip for you guys out there making orgonite, but definitely blend the frequencies and harmonics to create an energy device that not only protects, this is what this does. I'm going to explain to you right now, but it's a conscious creation. You create this with your own will, your intent, and using the proper stones from the mineral kingdom and the crystal kingdom, right, which are amazing, rock kingdom, you can create very specific tools to do very specific things. And they look pretty cool. There's a gold flake, all types of stones inside. And with mine, it's kind of hard to see what's going on inside. So I wanted to kind of show you, because what I do is on the bottoms, I do a very specific mix on the bottoms for all of my family members who order these and that I make for fair exchange. The bottom is black tourmaline, blue kyanite, selenite. The main thing is that I wanted to create a barrier so it can not only absorb nothing negative, but it will protect you in a specific field when you're sleeping. Okay? And as you go up, just imagine your chakras, right? There needs to be a, I guess not so much the red zone, not red zone, but I do a green heart layer. Okay? I do a sodalite layer. I do an amethyst, white crystal, paste, and diamond layer. And inside of this pyramid, there's a crystal that goes all the way through it, this big. Okay? And there's also coils that I put inside, right? Which actually spin the energy in the proper way, just like the big pyramids of Giza, let's just say. It's kind of funny, back in the day we built big pyramids, now I reincarnated and I'm making little pyramids. So it's still functional, right? I want to show you the field out comes off. For those of you guys who have eyes, the field comes off in a V pattern like this. Okay, so what I do is, with these, I don't know if you can see in the back corner of my room, right there, each one of these pyramids goes to each post, but their field actually splits like this. So when I make a Pillars of Light set, that sets the Pillars of Lights up. If you guys aren't familiar with these products, please go to galacticwands.com, etherictech.com. I'm going to upgrade and show all the new stuff that Jason is working on. Since we've been home from Egypt, about a month of solid research on some of the stuff, because our hires and powers that be want us to kick our game up. And with some of the stuff that we're working on in working with our bilocation skills, you must understand that to actually take this suit to somewhere else, you really have to raise its vibration. And that's your diet, your exercise, how much energy intake you have, your minerals, your vitamins, all that stuff. If they go right, it's not that simple. You can't just process. I can give you guys all kinds of tips. I'm working on it for quite some time now. All right. So with this stuff, always remember too, with the orgonite, especially the orgonite you guys buy. Wizard of Yaz, my brother, amazing at what he does. Same my buddy Josh Cook and my buddy Eric. You can find their links on Etheric Tech, and I believe on here at the Collective under the orgonite section. We all have our different flavors and styles, but Yaz and his wife do an excellent job at creating many awesome devices. Now, when creating the base, I want you to see something. Okay, do you see the copper on the bottom step? Here are the main elements of the piezoelectric effect to amplify it. Copper, brass, steel, aluminum. And whatever combination you feel or your intuition dictates, but basically the coils and things that you set into this should touch the metal layer. I put the base with the black tourmaline and stuff as my bottom layer. I have some stuff outside I can't wait to show you. I have taken the copper wrapping and solenoid thing to the next level. And the visuals I keep getting from my higher self is similar to capillaries inside your body. How your DNA spins, but actually the veins when you create something conscious. And those little attachments, almost like the neurons in your brain, how they fire from synapse to synapse, create something conscious that has that type of detail. Right. Okay, so with that, just know that we love you guys very much, and I wanted to share some stuff with you. I don't know if you guys are friends with me on Facebook. If not, I'll send the link to, I'll put it to this video. I am speaking on March 8th at the Starseed Alliance Conference 2013 in Sedona with my brother Ra, Krista, Chris Love, Stands with Bear, and we even have a very special guest speaker, Elizabeth Colton, amazing. She's part of the U.S. Embassy and politics and government and stuff, also a Starseed. And I wanted to read this to you, and I wanted to collaboratively work on something that I can say in 30 minutes for the max benefit. Obviously, I will have a recording for you guys, but I wanted to show you what it says that I will be speaking on, and maybe together we can find out exactly some of the topics I should be focused on. Okay, so my higher self wrote this. I take no responsibility for it. 1 second. As you can see when I read it to you. All right, here we go. Ryan DeRowan, I will be talking on Ascension techniques. Okay. Ascension techniques will focus on multi and pan-dimensional sight as well as clairvoyance and telepathy. He will explain these attributes and more importantly give his audience tips on how to develop these abilities in an accelerated fashion. His goal is to aid you and all star seeds undergoing the Ascension process to maintain clarity throughout one's adjustment to a higher vibration. Hybrids and Earth incarnates will also be discussed, along with Dreamtime simulations, utilizing wormholes, and holodyne decks. These are just some of the topics he wishes to share. Ascension techniques will be a 30-minute discussion and with 15 minutes of question and answer. All right. Now that being said, I don't know if I can rip that much information in 30 minutes. So any way you guys think I can clean that up, I would greatly appreciate that. And I would like to share all of this stuff with you, obviously my family across planet Earth and all of the Team Light members across planet Earth. Miss you guys! It's actually sunny today. It's been freezing. I know across the United States it's freezing right now. But together, when we break these things down and functionally understand them, in many ways, the confusion of the subjects go away. These are awesome. But not only the confusion of these things, but I want to break this stuff down like Crayola crayons. Meaning that, this is my definition of that. It's very easy to teach quantum mechanics to a bunch of physicists. It's something completely different to teach quantum mechanics to a bunch of kindergartners with a banana, an orange, and an apple. Okay, that's next level. The simple things in life. You know, many of the masters that have come before, the simple sentences of truth which resonate here with you. Those are the things that need to be shared right now on planet Earth. Simple truths that you will find the more things become complicated or you need to understand this to understand this, you're actually just blah blah. Semantics. Jason will put at the end of this video another link to another gentleman who is amazing at breaking down quantum syntax. He breaks down how basically every contract that's ever been written over the past 800 years is void due to the fact that the syntax is wrong. Syntax meaning the meaning behind the words. It's a bunch of blah blah verbs, adverbs. Okay, moving on. That's what lawyers do. They have a license to lie. Shh, don't tell nobody. Moving on. But what I want to tell you guys from my heart is that I love you. 1, 2. I really want to take the development and the creativity of our family to the next level. I really want to implement things like this to all of our family members. I would really like to do. Jason has a magic pyramid in his room. We have like walkie-talkie going on at night. But the function. I would like to show you guys the function, how things operate, and at least remind you. Many of you guys are very gifted and know a lot more than I do. I'm just doing little baby steps here. All right. Now, I do know that the angle of these pyramids is very important, and I want to invite Jason in here right now to talk about that. That is his expertise. He is the master builder. Jason!
Namaste, family. What's going on? Just want to give you guys a little description about the pyramids we're building. As Ryan said, we did fill them with orgonite, about 36 different elements. I call this my 12th dimensional healing chamber. That's the biggest purpose I like to have it for, is sleeping in this sacred geometric shape, and all the frequencies coming out of the stones that we placed in there helps with healing the DNA, activating the DNA. It helps the shape itself. The pyramid means light in the middle, fire in the middle, which helps balance your energy body, your auric field. And upon doing that, it helps you become stress-free, more balanced in your mental and emotional processing. It does amplify some of your dreams. As far as when you're processing things, it will bring things to the surface a lot faster. So it'll help you process things. As you're processing, you become more balanced. So you get that out of the way much faster. Does that make sense? We've been experimenting with the different angles of the pyramids. We started out with 45 slope angles, so we went to 51 slope angles. And it's funny, I was having dreams, recurring dreams of working on pyramids and like tweaking them and adjusting them. So I would wake up and I'd start researching exactly what it was that my higher self was trying to communicate to me in my dreams. And we're going to move up to a 54.7 degree angle, which is that of it's like the platonic solid called the octahedron. It's an 8-sided pyramid, equilateral pyramid, but these are actually, it'll sort of be cut in half, so it'll be equilateral pyramid. All the base and the sides are the same length, which will be easier for you to pick your copper pipes up at Ace Hardware or Home Depot or your local hardware store, and instead of cutting them, or you can have them cut them at the store and they're all the same. And then the slopes will build in to whatever spec you want, whatever slope angle that you prefer. We're going to try out 54.7. I got to build those soon, but do your research, find out what resonates with you, what slope angle. The 45s are from the Bosnian pyramids, the largest pyramids in the world. That's what we're rocking right now. And then the 51.8 is the ones in Egypt, the Giza pyramids. So that's about it. The links will be up on the website, so you'll be able to read a little bit more about the benefits and what is actually in the pyramids. So enjoy. Namaste and Lakach. Much love.
Greetings, my fellow universal beings of light, having a human experience in this vessel on this planet here they call Earth. Here's an experience I'd like to share that I had, you can say 12 years ago, and magically it worked kind of parallel to the experience of my friend Ryan in Egypt that just recently went on an activation mission. I was on a mission without knowing that I was on a mission. I got all my money from my savings, and it's like my mom and I, we just had this brainstorm to Egypt because Egypt was calling us. So we went to Egypt, and it's as if Spirit had like a higher plan for us. There was a guide, and his name was Hermamdu, and he already kind of knew what I was about. So when he led the tourists to these special places, he showed me the actual esoteric spots, and he was like, yeah, you talked about your stuff, your theories and what you think, and the pharaohs and the gods, and how the pyramids were built, and that they're actually older than science believes them to be. I gotta show you something. So he showed me places where I was basically, in one place I was in front of a shrine, and he said the high priest used to touch that place to increase their magical powers. And only the high priests and the initiates were able to touch these places and download what was in the rock or engraved in the rock. So I touched these things because it felt naturally to me, and I was excited to find all of these places. Then I found a little lake with a scarab statue, and he told me to walk around it counterclockwise 7 times, which I did. So I went to Abu Simbel, I went to Edfu, to Kumumbu, I saw the Nasser Sea, Temple of Karnak, the birth temple of Horus. I went into the Hathorian temple, into the Abu Simbel temple inside, the Mykonos pyramid, because the Gizeh pyramid at the current time was locked by the government, it was shut down. I went to the King's Valley, to the Queen's Valley. Basically I did the entire Nile Delta down with all the sights to see and everything to touch. And at night times I was in dream worlds and dimensional worlds full of pyramids and temples and light beings and pharaohs and kings that look very like other dimensional, unlike the depictions I've seen in the pyramids and in the ruins. And what I received was hieroglyphic symbols coming into my third eye, and there was tons of them, like a flood. Back then I didn't know it was a download, and I was going through this download process, which basically set the course to give me the understanding that reading the pyramids, the hieroglyphs, and translating them does not give you the download. You have to have something within you, which I believe to be spiritual maturity, and something that you have to have acquired in other lifetimes or other dimensions or parallel lives, that enables you to have that access given to you. And then it begins. Something in your subconscious responds to these things as you stand in front of them, and it basically activates you into your purpose. And with great detail, I experienced that, which put me on a long and fantastic and forever continuing ascension journey that brought me to Mount Shasta, and ultimately here, meeting my fellow brothers and sisters, Team Light, and furthermore will come from my colleague and partner and brother in light carrying wing fractions, Team Light representative Ryan. Thank you.
Namaste, my family. As my brother had stated about his Egypt trip, and especially when you go and visit Egypt, Egypt is an amazing place. What I recommend doing when you guys go and visit there, definitely book a little more expensive hotel, okay? And when you get down to the front desk of that hotel, have them book your travel from the front desk. It's a very wise and smart thing to do when traveling into that country, because they already have the ground transportation and all the guides set up for you, since 80% of the majority of the people that are in Egypt are tourists visiting. Now, as my brother stated, as you access these temples and you access these temple spaces, the main thing to understand is that to have an open mind and to reflect respect throughout all of your actions. Respect to the guardians that oversee that area. Respect to the souls that reside there. That respect is then doubly shown back to you. As far as either your guide or your 3D guides, internal intuition on what to show you. Now, definitely, and the pyramid, the main pyramid of Egypt, I would definitely go into the King's Chamber. Awesome experience. As far as the tombs, I found that I had the majority of my downloads inside the tombs. There is artwork and hieroglyphs inside of those tombs, and in a couple of the tombs you're allowed to actually put your hands down and actually touch monuments, statues inside. I found those are very important in understanding the language. Now, as you inherently understand the language, many star seeds, as this language comes back to you, all of my fellow Tamirans, it's important to understand that the filter in which you are translating will come to you in more of visual symbols. Or back in the day, one symbol could represent an entire book of information. It's not to be read as per word. Each symbol represents a lot of information. We were trained back in the day, especially my brother Ra, in those priesthoods. The thing to remember was that we understood the symbols, we understood the symbolism behind them, and if you could consciously understand what the symbol represented, then when you stack, say, 7 symbols in a row and have a conscious manifestation, then and only then does the formula work for you to understand the relevance of each symbol. Now, the hieroglyphs there are etched into the walls in a 2D image. That's fantastic. For those who have their third eyes on, as my brother stated, the other information which resides in the ether in between, that information is for us to download. And many of us in this soul family always had a really close connection to these scans. That because in this timeline, the last 26,000 years, that was a very important hotspot of translating and communicating that frequency throughout the planet. And Aswan Abu Simbel is amazing. I definitely recommend it, which is in southern Egypt. And as you go and visit these places, the easiest way to have access is to enter the pure heart of intent, being I'm here to serve. When you enter in that ambassador type of auric field,
meaning that I am here as a carrier of information to better serve all, then you will have access. To go there for any selfish reason, it is easily stated and written upon you for the guardians that are there watching. I recommend this for all spiritual beings on this planet when visiting ancient cultures, ancient places, ancient temples. How you carry yourself, in which your intent is behind this, I would like to learn. I would like to share. I would like to remember. I'm here to honor. I'm here to remember what was so that I can create what is to be. That type of mind state, energetic field, is what I feel is the most efficient and effective when visiting temple space. Another tip for you guys, when you guys are inside the tomb, when you guys are visiting these places, it's nice to have one rendition of what's going on, say with your eyes open. It's also nice to close your eyes and feel what's going on with your other aspects, whether it be your third eye, your heart, your different chakras. Feel the vibration that's coursing through that place, and in that way you will receive the maximum benefit for that visit. Anyways, we love you guys very much. Namaste and La Catch, and we'll see y'all very soon. Peace. Oh yeah, the Egypt and China video are on their way, so have time. We will see those in the months to come. Namaste.